Okay, good. Right, so this week's homework, recorded live in front of a classroom audience on Maths Dave. Okay, question 1 was express 3 over root 2 plus 1 in the form a plus b root 2, where a and b are integers. So a nice kind of easy start. We've done a few of these now. So we're going to need to multiply top and bottom of this fraction by what? Sorry?
2 minus 1.
Yeah, root 2 minus 1. We need to change the sign now. Which is going to give us 3 root 2 minus 3 on the top, and then on the bottom line we've got root 2 times root 2, and then the root 2 bits cancel out and we're left with minus 1, and so it ends up being, well, let's write it in the same format that it is there. It ends up being minus 3 plus 3 root 2, where a and b are integers. Nice easy start. So 3 marks, and 1 mark for putting the root 2 minus 1 over root 2 minus 1. The next mark for getting this unsimplified version, and the final mark for tidying it up. Great. Question 2. Solve the equation x squared equals 4x minus 2, giving your answer in simplified surge form. Well, the first thing we need to do is to write it so it's a quadratic equal to 0. So before we do anything else, we need to get it like that. And now we've got a choice about how we proceed. We could either use the quadratic formula, or we could complete the square. And it doesn't matter which way you do it, either one will get the full marks. I think I might do it with the quadratic formula for now. And so that will be minus b, so that's going to be plus 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, minus 4 when you square it is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 2, all divided by 2a, which is just going to give us 2. And so that is going to be 4 plus or minus, now this comes out as 8, doesn't it? 16 take away 4 times 2, so we've got root 8 there over 2. Again, we've got that simplifying surge thing to deal with, so root 8 is 4 times 2, so that's 2 root 2, 4 plus or minus 2 root 2 over 2 gives us 2 plus or minus root 2. That's how we want to give our answer. Okay, and that was for 5 marks in this case. If you'd chosen to do it by completing the square, then you would have said at this stage here, a half of the 4 is 2, so we're going to write as x minus 2 all squared. When we multiply x minus 2 squared, we get a plus 4 at the end of that. So we need to get rid of that plus 4. We already had a plus 2 there. So the complete square form has a minus 2 there like that. And then if we rearrange that to make x the subject, x minus 2 squared equals 2. So x minus 2 is plus or minus the square root of 2. So x is, take the 2 over 2, plus or minus root 2. And incredibly, we get the same answer. Either way with 5 marks. Question 3. Now question 3 I seem to have missing. Okay, sorry for that the brief interlude. Normal service has now been resumed. Okay, this is just. I don't know how you cope on live video when somebody comes in late, but just carry on. This is just a slightly awkward way of presenting you with a simultaneous equations question. That's all that's going on here. The straight line has equation y is 3x minus 1, the curve equation there. Show that the x-coordinates of the points of intersection satisfy that equation. So it's just simultaneous equations. It's just saying one of the equations is y is 3x minus 1. The other one is y is x plus 3 times x minus 1. We need to somehow combine these together. We know how we do this. We take the linear equation, which is, let's number these. Number 1 is the linear equation, and then we do a substitution into the other one. So we're going to have a sandwich from a well-known chain of sandwich makers. We're going to sub y, giving us 3x minus 1 is x plus 3, x minus 1. I ought to say that other sandwich makers are available as well. I think you have to say that's a reason to balance. I'm not sponsored by Subway. I didn't say them. I'm not sponsored by McDonald's either. Is this going to get taken down off YouTube now because I've mentioned brand names? No. I'll be alright. Good. Do you think they'll get in touch with me and give me money if I... No. Right. Okay, if we collect things together, we've now got x squared, 2x taken over 3x is minus x, and minus 3 plus the 1 gives us minus 2. That's what we wanted. So that's our first 2 marks for getting there part way along the way. Hence, find the coordinates of the points of intersection. So now we just need to solve this equation that we've got. So in part B, we're now going to factorise it. Lovely, easy equation. It factorises really nicely. X minus 1, no it doesn't, x plus 1, and x minus 2, like that. Giving us x values of minus 1 and 2. But of course, this asked us for the coordinates where the lines intersect. So we have to find the y value that goes with it. So we sub minus 1 into, remember our y equation was 3x minus 1. So if x is minus 1, y is 3 times minus 1 minus 1, which is negative 4. So that's one of our points. And the other one, if x is 2, y is 3 times 2 minus 1, which gives us 5, which gives us 2, 5, as the other point. There we go. So another 4 marks for getting that bit. You're kind of looking at 1 mark for factorising, 1 mark for getting the x values, and then...
What are the marks for part A?
The marks for part A would be...
Alright, okay.
Yeah, it's only 2 marks. So it's 1 mark for substituting. Okay, finally, question 4. You may have noticed, as you're doing this, question 4, it's part 1 that you're asked to do, but there didn't appear to be a part 2, or part 3, or anything else, which is a little bit odd, but that's because we've only just started doing S1, we're only here looking at the very first part of the question that went quite a lot further. This asked us to find the median and interquartile range. There are 23 plums. It's quite a topical time of year because the plums are all ripening now, so you may be able to get them off trees as you go home. 23 of them. We want to find the middle one. So we know that to find the median we need to add 1 and divide by 2. So 23 plus 1 divided by 2. It's an odd number, so this gives us a whole number. We're looking for the 12th term. So we count through our list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like we're there. My board is slightly aligned on that, but there we go, got it. So we've got 68 as the median. We're then asked to find the interquartile range. Now, remember the median has split them in half by looking at the 12th item. Before the 12th item there are 11 items. After the 12th item there are 11 items. So we now need to consider these 2 lists of 11 and find the midpoint of those lists. So the first 11 items, the middle one in a list of 11 will be the 6th. 11 plus 1 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So for the lower quartile we're looking for the 6th item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is 59. For the upper quartile, we're looking for the sixth one after the median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the upper quartile, I make, where did I get to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 75. I make that. And so the interquartile range is the difference between these two numbers, which is 16. That would be our answer. There we go. Oh yeah, and that's maths. How do I stop the video? Right, could you press the red button?